and screen or anything like that, but try and find one player prop that we can lock in together. You guys can throw some things out in the chat and everything like that. But once people start getting in here, we'll kind of dive into it. Could be fun. Could be fun just before the NFL slates here, but we're thinking NBA because a lot of our NFL plays have already kicked off altogether. But we shall see. We only have like 20 to 30 minutes of time anyways before we got to head out for the day. So this will be a quick one at the very least. NBA, we're going to be using Outlier. We could talk some football too. I just don't know if we're necessarily doing the, I don't know if we want to dive into football props with 40 minutes to go, and I only could be live for like 20 minutes. So we'll think NBA a little bit better there. We can kind of talk through some process. I'll read the comments and whatnot. If you guys hear the clicking and whatnot, sorry. But again, if you're just tuning in, we're gonna try and find an NBA player prop. We'll talk through it. I'd kind of like to do this more like officially with screen share and kind of a stream setup more often, right? But today we're just using the phone as the camera so we could talk, and I'll be doing stuff on my multiple screens here behind. But yeah, guys, start throwing out some player props. We're going to look into some things. Obviously, not the largest of NBA slates today, but a decent size enough that we can probably find some value here. We're over on Outlier, guys. Any of my videos, we do have a link for Outlier. If you guys want to check that out, 7 days free. Literally such a game changer. Let's get to some of the chat here. We got Thor checking in from Maine. Maine just went live. Let's go. Mauser saying hello, big dog, or Ola, big dog. Dennis saying NBA lock time. Broken Arrows saying hello, goat. Beto saying I like Pascal Siakam over 19.5. All right, let's dive into it. So Pascal Siakam, there has been a couple like trade rumors, right? But nonetheless, let's look into it. So points, we'll look at his trends. Again, we're going to try and fly through this. So even if you're throwing it out there, I don't want to, act like we're blowing through it. I don't mean to do that. We're just kind of trying to find a few. So Siakam, what did you have? Over 19.5 points. He's only hit it twice this year, but Spurs allowing plenty of points here. Siakam listed as the power forward here, right? For the Raptors, and the Spurs allowing the second most points to power forwards. And it hasn't been a lack of really field goal attempts. Siakam's shooting, 15 times per game. I don't hate that one. I just think I'm looking for someone. I actually think there's a great chance to hit, to be honest. So not locking it in on my end, but I don't have anything negative to say about that whatsoever. Because this is a Spurs team that is lacking defensively 100%. Let's see. JJ Bryson saying Keldon Johnson. Yeah, Vassell is ruled out. Like 19.5 is Johnson's line though. To me, it just seems like too high. Even though he went over that like crazy last year, it just seems like a sketchy line with how inconsistent he's been. Now, to your point, no Devin Vassell. Let's use Outlier here. And again, I'm gonna just try and walk through this so sometime you guys will be able to see this. I do think we'll have a pretty good setup in terms of like being able to go through and look at what we have in terms of screen share and everything like that. But he's hit this in 79, dating back to last year. Keldon Johnson has had over 19 points in 79% of games without Devin Vassell. So not a bad call there whatsoever. And Dennis, you're saying Keldon Johnson's over in threes. His line is at 1.5 with Vassell out. Well, he's hit it last year, 59% of games. He's hit it in 2 of his 5 games this year. Without Vassell, let's see what he did last year, because that is a huge. Devin Vassell loves to create his own shot and everything like that. All right, so 55 to 59% of games without Vassell. Don't hate that either. Yeah, we're flying through these. Let's go. Scotty Barnes from Dennis saying, this is probably such a bad angle. How many chins are you guys seeing? But Scotty Barnes over an assist. That's interesting. He did, what was it, against the Sixers, that he had a pretty good assist night? I could be thinking of another game. 4.5 assists. Let's see what he has. So he's hit it in a decent amount. Only one game this year where he hasn't. Passing. So you guys are kind of seeing the behind the scenes of my brain now. Not like my picks have been stellar to start the NBA season, but immediately I look, okay, well, he's covered. He's doing it well. The Spurs allowing the second most assists in the entire league. Small forward assists wise, they're within the top, half of the league, so it's not terrible. But then I look at Scotty Barnes' now potential assists. Potential assists, such a huge stat here, and even adjusted assists too. But Scotty Barnes averaging 9.3 potential assists, so I like to think of a 50% clip for that, right? That's a pretty good one. Guys, Scotty Barnes over 4.5 assists. Pretty good call there from Dennis. I like that. That's definitely on the. All three of these so far have been good ones. You guys should have your own friggin' NBA shows. Do better than me. Like this is great. Yeah, guys, hit that like button. I see Danny in there saying make sure you hit the like button. 20 people in here, 3 likes. Damn, you guys hate me, but fade me. Go ahead. All right, Cyrus saying Grayson Allen. Actually, before that, Harry saying dub Scotty. I don't hate a double for him. You're obviously going to get like crazy odds. Best odds out there right now are plus 165. Like that's good. He's done that in this season in 3 games, right? If I'm not mistaken. So I don't hate that. Not necessarily as confident to lock it in. Do you know what I mean? And then we had I did skip a couple of Draymond Green to make a 3 is plus money. I don't know. D. I don't know if I can get behind that. I know I get the rationale. I don't know if I can get behind that. Let's see. Cyrus saying Grayson Allen 15 plus points. So no Booker, no Beal today either, right? If I'm not mistaken, as I type in Booker, Grayson Allen. Let's see what our thoughts are here for points. So let's see, 15 plus. Okay, so an alternate line out here for plus 195. All right, I immediately don't hate the value because he's already hit that a few times this year, right? But he's got to shoot at a good percentage. Like this is a guy that's only shooting 8 times per game. 5 of them are threes, which is good for that play. I don't mind it whatsoever. Detroit is not a very good defensive team, just overall, right? And then when it even comes to guarding the point guard position, they're allowing the most. The shooting guard position, they're allowing the most points to shooting guards this year. So 15 plus points for plus 195. I don't hate that at all, Cyrus, at all. JJ saying, wondering if Kyrie has a decent game. I'm taking 25 plus 3 So if you guys watch, I just posted a short today. I took Kyrie over 25.5 points plus assists with 3 other plays in that same game parlay because this is a Charlotte team that just struggles against the shooting guard position. You could make the argument that Kyrie, Luka kind of back and forth, switch off who's the guard, blah, blah, blah. But Kyrie should be able to play really well against the Charlotte team. 25 points plus assists is what I really like. I think his line, I forget what it was, maybe 29 or 28.5. I like the putting in the same game parlay and bumping it down a little bit for sure. But I also have 3 other legs in there, so go check that out. But I don't think that the Hornets have an answer for Kyrie. I almost took Luka's within that same game parlay, Luka under 4.5 threes. And I was like, it makes sense why he wouldn't need to take or make 5 threes. But it's like, how can you bet on an under with Luka, right? I tried to do that to bump up the odds. Couldn't get myself to do it. Let's see. Shorty saying Isaiah Stewart over 10.5 points. Thoughts? You already locked it in. Let's see what we got here. Now, I immediately don't hate it. I'll say that. I don't necessarily think that this is a bad play. I like Beef Stew here. And he's cashed for us a couple times. Not with points, but I do like taking his rebound line, and except when it gets inflated. But in terms of 10.5 points, he's hit it in every single game this year. Phoenix, where they rank here in terms of points to power forwards, number 1 team. I really like that. Phoenix allowing the most points to power forwards. I think they're up towards the top 2, or at least in the top half of the league for center too, because he gets center minutes. I don't hate that whatsoever. The only thing that I worry about is the fact that this could be a up-tempo game if Phoenix wants to play it fast. The games that Phoenix has played fast, they've at least looked good. They've had a rough start to the year, but look at their schedule. They've had a weird schedule where they have like tough games when they have these layup games that they're losing. So who knows what to make of Phoenix with all those injuries too. But I don't mind Stu over 10.5 points. I think that is a good play there because, again, this is a guy now for checking boxes here, right? He's shooting enough times. You want to field goal attempts. If you do a field goal attempts per point scored sort of ratio, he's shooting 10 times. That's fine, right? Every basket's 2 points, especially for him. So I don't mind that at all. He's getting to the line 2 or 3 times. So there should be at least 1 point. He's done it in all of the games thus far, and they're going up against a team. You look at matchup here for him too. They're going up against a team that they don't allow a lot of points overall, but Phoenix allowing the most points to power forwards on the season. So I like that play. I think that is a good spot there, Shorty. There's some Luka's. So that's another one, Mars. I almost took Luka's under in points in the parlay all the way up at 34.5, and I was like, but wouldn't it be just so jinxy Ev out here to be like, hey, I'm gonna take Luka's under in points, and then all of a sudden it's like he goes off for 50. You know what I mean? You just know that that's somehow possible. So I liked it. We got a plus 115 odds for the same game parlay. It was Kyrie 25 plus points and assists, over 0.5 threes. He's hit a 3 in every game of his career. Dallas minus 2.5, and then Charlotte plus 21.5, which is the one that I'm worried about. So we need a win. Dallas needs to win by three or more, but less than 22, right? So I don't know. I'm threading a needle there. But yeah, guys, go ahead and hit that like button, smash that like button. We'll be live for a few more minutes here. Throw some props that you have out there. We're just kind of doing some, cross analysis, looking into these. I like them so far. That Stewart one is very interesting. The only concern I would have is that, like, if they realize they don't need to go that big against the Suns, is it Stewart that gets the bench here? I don't think so. He's had a good year, but Marvin Bagley, as weird as it sounds, like, could be the type of guy that can run with this team. If Phoenix decides to elect, all right, no Yusuf Nurkic, let's go Kevin Durant big, and we'll go we'll go small, which I don't know why they would. I'm kind of just throwing this out into the air. Then Stewart probably is the guy that's like, all right, well, you're not going to play in this game much. But that's kind of old school Suns basketball me thinking, right? Like, in my brain, I'm like, oh, Suns like love to run and gun. This is not a great offensive Suns team this year, but they still are not the best defensive team either. Not terrible though, not like you'd think in like Mike D'Antoni years. Throw some more plays out, guys. We'll go through them. And again, like, what do you guys think? Actually, I'll ask this question. Let me know what you guys think. Picture this being like a legit live stream where, we're going through our multiple screens. I'm showing you guys what I'm looking at, the breakdown, all that. I'd love to have a day, and we're working on being able to have way more time to do this type of stuff, guys. I'm working on like having a day where we can just live stream our entire day. You guys see everything behind the scenes of placing a bet, why we're doing it, all this, responding to comments, like just like live streaming. I feel like no one really, Book It with Trent does it. He's funny and great too, but no one really does the whole like live stream's huge right now, but completely mesh it with a day's worth of sports betting. Like, you guys would see me place all these high quantity, low quality type bets plus EV stuff that I love to do, but I rarely publicize, right? Like, it's interesting. So it could be something that's cool that we do in the future. We're going to just live stream an entire day, take feedback, take like a chat section, play of the day, blah, blah, blah. I think that could be really cool. Let's get back to some of these. Bagley over 13.5 PRA is a lock. Yeah, see, so there. Before I even knew his line, I was like, Bagley could be a guy that benefits in this spot because he is a good player. I have a funny college, I was the team liaison for him in a basketball tournament. My school put on the biggest basketball tournament in the country, and he pretty much cried to me about like how all he does is basketball and blah blah blah. And I was like, oh man, okay. Like, it was funny. I'll tell that story some other time. But yeah, Bagley has hit this in 8 straight games, 9 of his last 10. Last season, he hit it in 71% of games. He's playing probably, I guess you could say, maybe a little bit more than this year, but playing 20 minutes still this year. I don't hate it. Now, let's look at, I guess you could, I don't want to consider him a center, so I'm going to use power forward as the defense against for the Suns. We already talked about it. The Suns allowing the most points per game to power forwards. In terms of rebounds here, allowing, what is it? It's the 10th most rebounds. And then in terms of assists, they are allowing, where are they at? All right, so they're the 4th best team in terms of assists. So what's his points plus rebounds line? Still at 13.5. See, so that's where you guys got to realize you're taking his PRA line. It's at 13.5, right? Points plus rebounds. Yes, you're paying a little bit more juice, but he has assists for no extra charge. Why wouldn't you take the PRA line? Bagley over 13.5 is probably my number one lean so far through this. So shout out to you, D. I think that's a good one. Minutes wise, yes, he should be playing a decent amount of minutes here at the very least. And that game, what is it, tip off in a couple hours, right? So I like that spot. Jalen Duren, do we know what his status is or anything like that? Overall, because obviously that's pretty big in terms of what we're looking at from Bagley's minutes. I think Bagley is the what am I trying to say? Bagley was the starter, right? So we'll see. Listed as a starter, I guess I'm trying to say. What else we got here in the comments? Grant Williams, PRA over or his points. PRA 17 and his points is 11. Whew. I don't like Grant Williams, never have. But that's not a way to bet, right? So let's see what we got for Grant Williams. That PRA line just seems high because everyone's like, not to slight him, but everyone's like sucking Grant's you-know-what because he's been good to start the year, And that is when, now again, like I'm man enough to admit I have not been the best NBA bettor to start the year, but I hate taking guys when the world loves them. Do you know what I mean? Like, Like I think that is the time where Vegas is the sharpest. Like Vegas is dedicating more times, and I'm not talking you off this. Don't worry, Shorty. But I'm just kind of giving like my thought process here. I hate taking guys when Vegas is dedicating more time than usual to their props here. Like Grant Williams is playing career basketball right now. They've never paid more attention to his line than these last few games. That being said, he's hit this in 4 of his 5 games. To your point, he's averaging. What do we got here in terms of his points? He's averaging. Trying to pull it up just overall. So points he's averaging on the season. I lost it. I had it up in front of me. Whatever. You get what I mean. He's averaging enough points to come near that 17 and a half line altogether. I just don't know if I can get myself to pull the trigger. But I don't hate it. Over 11 and 11 and a half points here for plus 102. I don't hate the plus money there. Like 12 points from Grant Williams. I don't hate that. I don't hate it at all. He even shot 6 times. He's shooting like every one of his shots is a 3, which you like and don't like. Like 70% of his shots are 3. So for taking this over, I don't hate that. Marvin Bagley here from Josh. You think Marvin Bagley can go over 4.5 rebounds? So I don't know if we just talked about Bagley. His PRA line looks pretty damn enticing. It's something that I'm thinking about here. In terms of his rebounds, I don't hate it. The Suns allow a decent amount of rebounds to the power forward position. Again, he's listed as the center, but Bagley is definitely a power forward-esque body. So that's what I'm looking at. They allow the 10th most, or is it the 8th most? I can't count, but top 10 team in terms of rebounds allowed to that power forward position. He's gotten 6 and 9 in his last 2 games here on the season. He's hit this in 4 games out of his 6. Now let's go ahead and turn to rebound chances. If you guys don't look up rebound chances, just Google NBA rebound chances, and it's on the NBA.com stats site. That may be a number one. Like, you got to look at that if you're looking for rebounds. So if we do Bagley here, rebound chances, he's averaging 9.5 rebound chances. He's grabbing 65% of his rebounds. So obviously that leads to right around that number. Don't hate that at all. If he's going to get 10 rebound chances and grab 60% of those at minimum, that's 6 rebounds. We beat that line by 0.5, right? So not a bad call there. I will still say I think I prefer his PRA line over anything because I can see him getting an uptick of minutes in this one. Dennis saying, don't forget to join the Discord. Yeah, guys, in all my videos in the description, we have a Discord link. There's near 4,000 people in there talking every single day. Dennis does a great job to head that up and lead it. So go check it out. He's got his daily plays in there. It's the Guy Boston Sports Ev Picks Discord again in damn near every video that we have. So just go to any full video on the site. Go check that out. If we were on the computer right now, I'd link it, but I don't know how to do that on my phone right now. We're firing on all cylinders other than that, but I'm kind of dumb when it comes to some things. Let's see, Josh saying, you think Steph Curry can get over 29 and a half if Clay's out? Yes. If Clay's in, I still think it. My only concern here would be that, so I talked about it earlier, I think just line reading this game, Vegas thinks Cleveland's going to have a good game. They're finally healthy. Jared Allen's back. Garland's back. And Vegas has Cleveland favored. I think this is going to be a defensive-esque type of a game. So I'm going to lean towards, I actually don't want to I wouldn't lean towards the under that, so I don't want to talk you off of it. It's not something that I would put at the top of my list. Obviously, it's Steph Curry. Would we be surprised if he goes for 30 plus? No. But something about this game and line seems a little fishy to me that Vegas is pretty heavy and they haven't budged the line at all, right? They have not budged the line at all. And 70% of the bets are on Golden State on the spread right now. There's something interesting about this game. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but it makes me a little weary with player props. Munchie taking Arizona today. Okay, long shot. You've hit long shots before, though. We know that, right? Guys, run up the like button. What are we, a long shot, long shot for the likes? Yikes. All right, Shorty saying Donovan Mitchell on his over for points, 28.5. Iffy pick, but I put it in. So there's another side of the thing where I'm like, well, what I just said, based on what I just said, how do I feel about Cavs? And I don't know. I mean, you guys know I do always try to be honest with you. I don't have the strongest take on it, but let's look into it. But this is where I'm trying to look into these plays that you guys throw my way that maybe didn't come across my desk per se this morning, right? Like, I'm not trying to be like, what are my opinions on it? Let's break it down. So his last 2 games, he's had in 3 of his last 4 games with Garland. No, let's throw that in there because you can use that in outlier. This season, he hit it last game, right? Last year, he only had over 28.5 points with Garland in 47% of games. So that's a little weary. But again, those odds, and I hate to beat a dead horse, but the odds and the fact that Vegas is keeping the Cavs as favorites here makes me like, what's going on? Like, there's got to be something here. Klay Thompson, obviously, you lose a little defensive presence, but Yeah, I don't necessarily hate it, but it's another one where I'm kind of like, there's a lot of outliers in this game. You know what I mean? Yeah, Dolphins just lost to the Chiefs here. We had the under in that game. Everyone roasting me for accidentally saying Arrowhead, and I was like, guys, I know. I made a clip away from it. It proves how many people watch the videos but just skip ahead, which is fine. Like, I can't control anyone watching these videos, but everyone's like, hey, dummy, they're playing in Germany, not Arrowhead. I made a specific edit in that video and said, I know I accidentally said Arrowhead. It doesn't change my bet on the under, blah, blah, blah. Now we're looking at a 21-14 game. Guppies. All right, let's keep going through here. What else do we got? Shorty saying again, thanks for all your info and help. Always appreciate it and show love in the videos. I love that, guys. That means a lot to me. Just because like we're not always going to be right with our bets, but that's the funny thing is that some people are like it's like a black and white. No, there's a lot of gray area here. Like duh, like I'm not going to be right about everything, but if you listen to the videos, nothing's uninformed, uneducated. Do unto others says, what site do you use for research? We're on Outlier. If you want to check it out, 7 days free. It's literally like, I'm not even kidding. It's my favorite sports betting research app. It's like a one-stop shop. I have a link in all of my main videos. If you guys want to if you want to check that out, you get 7 days free. After that, $19.99 a month. I even say that that's affordable, but you know, that's an individual thing. TV saying, what's up? What's going on, my man? Let's keep looking at a couple more things, and then we got to head out pretty soon here. Actually, what do we got for time? 10 minutes or so? 10 minutes. So, guys, throw some props my way. We're looking at a few props within here. We had a couple good ones throw out. Isaiah Stewart, Marvin Bagley, Siakam, Scotty Barnes. Like, these are, you guys just threw out some bangers, to be completely honest. We almost should, like, go ahead and ride all those because those, they all check the boxes that I like, and I like my boxes checked. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. TV saying I ride all the bets every day, no matter the sport. Just gotta hide the winnings from the wife. Share it with her. Come on, but just don't tell her how much. Don't tell her how much. You win a bunch. You be like, hey, look what I won. As like your pocket's like weighing your pants down because you only show the portion of it. Yeah. Let's see. We got Good Night saying, Munchie saying thanks for the Fade Me shirt. Yeah, appreciate you, man. Munchie had been killing it in the comments too, guys. Killing it in NHL as of late, right? Let's see. Shorty saying Jaren Jackson and DeAndre Ayton 20+ rebounds on the over. Okay, that's interesting. So them two combine. Is that a Prize Picks combo or something like that? Because that doesn't sound bad at all, right? Like that sounds like those two. One of those guys can get you 15 type of thing, right? I don't hate that at all. That's I don't know. Maybe that I don't. Is that a Prize Picks prop? Because I don't really see those that often on the DKs, MGMs, and whatnot. But I don't mind that. Like Jaren Jackson's, what's his rebound line at actually? His rebound line is at 8.5 right now. So you got to assume that even if he gets close, he's going to get 8, right? DeAndre Ayton going up against a team in which he should be able to I guess rebound against. Was it Jaren Jackson and I don't even remember their power forward's name, Rudy or something like that, right? Like this should be a team in which DeAndre Ayton gets a decent amount of rebounds. Then look at what happened last game. But Memphis doesn't really scare me on the rebounding end, but it's not like they're terrible in which Jaren Jackson's still going to kind of fight for his, right? So I don't hate that at all. Let's check out Ayton here. I just want to see how he's been trending too, because his line's usually at like 12-ish. Yeah, 12 was that 12 was against Memphis, right? Yeah, boom. Look at that. I still got some things up here. I have to dust off the cobwebs. So 8.5, 11.5. That does put their line there as a shared line at 20. So if you're taking that, there is a little bit, I will say, like just reading those lines. If you're taking 20.5, looking for 21, even based on the lines, you're losing a little bit of value there. But don't hate it at all. I think that this could be a game in which, rebounds are to go around. Neither one of these offenses all that great, right? But I will say there is something to be said that if you add those lines together, you're looking at 20, right? So taking them individually may even be smarter in a sense than together, but you do have the chance that one goes off, one doesn't. What else we got here? Spencer coming in with Karis LeVert over 19.5 PRAs. Interesting. I don't mind it. I will say it's gonna be interesting. Like I keep saying too about when I guess you could say this Cavs team is fully healthy, which they now are. What are we looking at in terms of like how they're gonna play? Now LeVert is a guy that, regardless of even his minutes, he can kind of go off and give you a decent amount in a short amount of time. So I don't hate this. Golden State should be meh defensively, right? Let's see what they got LeVert slated at today. Probably going to come in for, I'd imagine, Let's throw him in as, what do we want to put him in as in terms of position wise? Throw him in as a shooting guard, right? I think that's fair. Let's see, Golden State ranking wise, shooting guard wise, points allowed. They are middle of the pack ish, right? When it comes to allowing points to shooting guards, rebounds. What else we got? They're actually a good rebounding team against shooting guards, so keep that in mind. And then let's see, assists, middle to good against. So he has a tough matchup today, but if we look at it from a small forward position, Golden State actually is pretty good defensively because you're going to get some Draymond switches. I don't hate it. It's a doable number. That's what I'd say. Like, look what he's done this year, right? It's a doable number. The only reason why I'd stay off it is just because, like, I'm very curious to see at long term how all these Cavs guys play this year because they haven't had the start of the season that we would have thought. All right, what else we got? A couple more here. Pedro under 14.5 points. Pedro says Mobley under 14.5 points. I don't mind it. I do think that, Mobley is a good player in this Warriors team. Often can run small, but 14 points. Mobley having like a 14-point game ain't all that bad. You know what I mean? Like, especially with, now I know he's a young stud. I do like him altogether, but Mobley from a perspective of having to deal with Garland, Mitchell, even LeVert coming in, like Strus being a scorer now too. It's like he's not always going to get his in a sense, right? So I don't mind it. Yeah, Mars, everybody taking the over on Wemby. Like I said about Grant Williams, guys, and this is like a legitimate profitable strategy, but it's not making you profit. You don't necessarily need to bet the over or the opposite of guys that are hot. That's not always smart because these guys can go nuclear, right? Like if Wemby goes out there and drops 30 plus again, you're like, okay, he's hot. But I don't like to bet guys that Vegas is paying attention to more than they ever have. Now, Wemby's had eyes on him, Vegas eyes on him, everything like that, tons. But what I'll say is just the idea of like Grant Williams is a great example. He's never had Vegas' eyes on him more than he has in the last 3 games. So his lines to me are going to be super sharp, and we're looking for value. I'm not trying to outsmart every other basketball mind in the world. I'm looking for spots where the trends, the matchup, and all that don't seem to add up with the line. And that's what you're going to get when Vegas may be slow to change a line or something like that. And that's what it is. Spencer says thanks. I don't hate LeVert. I mean, I know you say don't let me talk you off of it. I just kind of giving you guys my thoughts on things, right? Like LeVert, I'm not saying I'm taking the under based on what we looked at. I'm just I stick away from that one. If he hits it, great. Maybe you place it and you hit, right? But it's not like me being like, no, I don't like LeVert's spot. It's that Cavs team. I think long term, I'd rather wait out to see what we got going on. Colm says, say G, I'll sub. G. Brogdon under 7.5 assists. That's an interesting one. Brogdon's lines, I mean, now they're coming out, right? But they have been not coming out till late. Now we got him out. He had 10 last game. That was his biggest minutes of the year so far. I think Scoot Henderson's still out. To me, it just doesn't seem worth it. Brogdon's a really good player. If Scoot Henderson is out, Brogdon's going to get a bump in minutes, which he did last game, right? So I'm probably sticking away from that one, just because like you have a 100% hit rate of him having double-digit assists when Scoot Henderson's out, and they're playing the same team they played in that game. Now you might be right that like that line is getting bumped up because of what he did last game. Like I think that's a fair point. And if you want to pull the trigger on Brogdon assists, go for it. But this is a Memphis team that, you got to remember he's going to have Marcus Smart on him. Like this, it's not the easiest of matchups. So I give you a little bit of credit there because, Smart, Brogdon know each other well from the Celtics days. Could be an under. So I could see you going both ways on that one personally. And again, these are all just my opinions, right? I don't think that it doesn't get me up enough to want to pull the trigger on it, if that makes sense. All right, a few more, guys. It's been a nice little half-hour stream. Hit that like button, guys. Hit that subscribe button. If you are just tuning in now, I said that, coming soon, I think I want to do these more like officially. Like we'll have a whole, setup and streaming setup with the screens. You guys can see what I'm looking at. We could talk about how I'm coming across these. And we'll get, comment plays of the day and all that. Could be kind of cool to go live and do that type of thing. So let me know if that interests you guys. Because if it does, I definitely would like to get on that. But this is still kind of fun. I know I'm not making eye contact with you guys, but nonetheless, it's all right. I do think that that Cavs line is so weird. If you watched my YouTube video earlier, I did lock in Cavs -1.5. It's just weird to me. So that game could go in any direction. I just have stayed away from a few things there, to be completely honest. Uh-oh. I'm reading all these comments that people left about my Chiefs and Dolphins underpick. People are like, "You're an idiot," blah blah blah. Dolphins lowest point scoring total of the year. The game finishes 1,000,000 points under. I just don't get the people that hate on a pick before the game starts. You can have a different opinion, we're all in that boat. I'm starting the video giving you guys my pick. Rarely if someone's like, "No way, that's gonna go the opposite way," I'm like, "You're an idiot. What are you talking about?" Because the game hasn't started yet. I wear a shirt that says "Fade Me." If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But like, why do people jump to that? Like, I'm reading some of these comments of like, "You're a fucking idiot, dude. Like, it's in Germany. You don't know what you're talking about." Oh, Germany? What do you get, an extra 10% points boost? Like, what are we talking about? It's still a football field with football players. Oh, that under was a no sweat. Let's go, cash it. Love to see that. Any other props to jump into, guys? A few more minutes, and then we'll turn down for the day. We are leaving, so I'm gonna be kind of mobile for the rest of the day, which stinks because I want to get one more NBA game in. But something about being in the cozy chair and at the desk with multiple screens, being able to just rattle off what we want to see, right? We got tons of plus EV plays in though. So we got enough juice, but I love my official picks, right? Are the ones that I appreciate way more on YouTube and whatnot. Here we go. Sochan coming in from Twin. Sochan player combo points, rebounds, and ass and assists. Under. What is the line at? Let me look it up. I don't mind that. Sochan is kind of, I don't know, maybe I'm being harsh here, but I feel like he just is faded a little bit into the. Because I actually bet on him a decent amount. If you guys watched last year, like I liked his spot, but we've cashed twice now on Prize Picks plays, taking his under in 3-pointers made because the guy just did not even really shoot threes, and when he does, he shoots like one, right? Well, actually, I think he shot like a few 2 games ago, still hit 0, but nonetheless, see PRA line. He just seems like he's kind of faded into the abyss here. His line's at 21.5. He's hitting 3 of his last 5. He's doing a lot of assisting, though, which is obviously that makes sense. He's had plenty of touches here, being that, slated as the team's PG. Gonna have Dennis Schroeder and Anunoby on him. Let's see what he's averaging in terms of potential assists. So Sochan potential assists, 9 potential assists. Rebounds here. Sochan potential or rebound chances. Can't type. Oh man, now my keyboard just acting up. That's not even my fault. Sochan. 9 rebound chances. So even if you take half of those, that's 9 right there. 21.5. You got to assume he's going to shoot, or what, for points? What would you say? I'd say he's probably going to his average right around that sort of like 12, maybe 11 mark. So I don't hate that. If his line's at 21.5, the math that we just did, he's going to have 4 assists, 4 rebounds, give or take, right, based on his chances and potential assists. And even give him, I guess you could even give him for this one 13 points, and he sits at 21 based on our math, right? So I don't hate that at all. I don't mind it. Let's see how Toronto plays the point guard position. So Toronto, in terms of point guard defense, 4th best in the league. Rebounding wise, they are, let's see, nothing really to note. Looks like they might allow middle of the road rebounds to point guards. And then for assists, the number 1 team against point guard assists. So 2 stats right there they are excelling in. 4th best in terms of preventing assists to the point guard position, and then best in the league for assists against the point guard. I like that play a lot. That is a good spot. I like it. Even with the math and the projection we just did really quickly, I don't hate that at all. What else we got in here? Yeah, TV says, I don't know how people hate on a free pick. It's free. Don't like it. Ignore it. It is funny. Like, people literally act like I have them place their bets at gunpoint. And it's like, people get so mad when I have a losing night. It's like, I have a feeling that impacts me a little bit more than you. I also place that bet, right? But I have to come on and own it up the next day bright and early. Like, I sip my coffee, and it's like, I sucked last night. That's a tough start to the day. At least if you're just tailing the pick or something, you sip your coffee and you could be like, screw you, Ev. I have to come on and own it to a bunch of people. Oh, TV, thanks, man, for the $4.99 there. Appreciate the hell out of that. That means so much to me, guys. Appreciate you, TV. Yeah, we got to do live streams more. I love this interaction here. Tassos Noter fall hard yesterday. Tassos is a good sports bettor. He is a good sports bettor. If you guys don't watch Head to Head, you got to watch H to H there, the show that I do with him. He's kicking my ass. This week I got a good chance here, but he's kicking my ass this season. But it's a good show. We go back and forth there. He's a really good guy, and I'm glad he's doing more and more on the channel because he is a good sports bettor there. But yeah, good call, TV. And again, appreciate that donation there. That's means a shitload. Means a shitload. Josh has over for Draymond, 8.5 points here. See what we got. I never like taking Draymond's over in points just because you never know if he's just going to go dormant. But no Klay Thompson, or maybe no Klay Thompson. I guess we don't totally know that yet. Cleveland is a good defensive team, but are they going to focus on, Steph and Wiggins and that type of thing? Probably, right? So I don't mind Draymond over in points. Let's see how he's done without Klay, because that would be a pretty big indicator. So Klay Thompson, still a game time decision. Last year, we'll date back there. He still only hit it in 33% of games. So actually, I'm looking at his points plus rebounds. Excuse me, points. Without Klay, because I don't hate the spot, but again, it's like more of a Draymond thing. You never really know. All right, so now we're on first quarter points. Can we get it together, Ev? I'm all over the place here. See, maybe it's good that you guys can't see what I'm doing because you'd think I'm absolutely special. Done it in 2 straight games without him. Okay, I don't hate it. Don't hate it whatsoever. All right, let's get a time check here, guys. Out of here by 1. All right, we'll do this more often, guys. Again, TV, big shout out to you for the $5 there. Appreciate the hell out of that. Yeah, made my day. Thank you, man. Hopefully we have a good NBA day. But yeah, that just made my day. I swear to God. All you guys tuning in makes my day. And hitting that like button and everything. But yeah, good live stream. I was going to go on live for like 20 minutes. I said at the beginning. But here we are nearly 40 minutes in. Super easy when you have a community like this, right? Like, I think we all just get what's going on here. Looking for the best plays. I worship this as Fade Me. If I'm going to have a bad day, I'm going to own it. You guys should too, guys. It's not all about like, oh, I'm the best in the world. No. You place a bet, you got to realize you're looking at some entertainment factor even there, right? You could bet on a game that you don't care about. $1 makes that game entertaining. Take that as your main sports betting avenue. And then once you're kind of comfortable doing that, that's when we start to go, okay, let's make some money here. It's not life-changing money. You shouldn't be doing anything life-changing sports betting-wise, but it means a lot more. And it's if you can get the edge, you can be profitable long-term. It's not like spinning a roulette wheel, right? You put enough work in, there is tons of profit to be made. But I just want to make it clear, like we're on a bad stretch, right? We joke about it. We say like, oh, we stink, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, everyone's going to go through those times, sports betting, even if you are the best in the world. You'll have a month where you have a bad day or bad month. All right, we just glitched out there. We got to take off, guys. Appreciate the hell out of you guys tuning in. We'll catch you guys in the next live. And obviously tune into the shows, guys. Join the Discord, all that good stuff. And one last shout out to TV. TV with the $5. Appreciate the hell out of you, man. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.